Dear students, already we have learned about the antigen, antibody and antigen presenting cell, and today we are going to start with the antigen antibody interaction. So what are the different kinds of antigen antibody interaction? The first one we can see as precipitation reaction, agglutination reaction, complement fixation, ELISA, RIA. ELISA means enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, and RIA means radioimmunoassay. Then immunofluorescence. So these are the basic types of antigen antibody reaction. Today we will learn about the precipitation reaction and agglutination reaction, and in the next class we will learn about the complement fixation, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay, radioimmunoassay and immunofluorescence. So today the first topic is precipitation reaction. When the soluble antigen combines with the antibody in presence of the specific electrolyte, particular temperature and pH, then an insoluble precipitate of antigen antibody complex will be formed. So when the antigen and antibody will be kept in a specific desirable environment along with the particular temperature, presence of electrolyte and comfortable pH, then the insoluble precipitate of antigen antibody complex will be occurred, and this antibody causing the precipitation is called as the precipitin, and the reaction is called as the precipitation reaction. Now let us see it here. In the first half you can see the pink color, the pink color is denoting the soluble antigens, and at the third part you can see the soluble antibodies, and the middle part, that is the precipitation zone. That means where the soluble antibodies and soluble antigens are binding together, are clumping together to form the insoluble precipitate of antigen antibody complex. So here the antibodies who are joining with the soluble antigens, they are called as the precipitin, and the reaction is called as the precipitation reaction. So what will be the applications of precipitation reaction? That means where we can use in the medical field the precipitation reaction, how it can be helpful in our medical field. The first one, detection of unknown antibody in any kind of infectious condition. So example is VDRL test for syphilis. Syphilis is one kind of sexually transmitted diseases, and just to find, it is basically caused by the bacteria spirochete. Okay, so the VDRL test is basically used to detect the unknown antibody. If the person will carry the specific antibody, then only we have to detect it with the help of the VDRL test. In the second part, we can use the precipitation reaction in standardization of toxins and antitoxins. In identification of any kind of bacteria, example the lancified grouping of streptococci. Streptococci is the round shaped bacteria that you all know. And number 4, the identification of bacterial component, that is the Ascoli's thermoprecipitin test for Bacillus anthracis. Okay, Ascoli's thermoprecipitin test is basically used only for the Bacillus anthracis. That is to find out the disease of anthrax. Okay, there also we can use the precipitation reaction. Now in the next part, the second part is the agglutination reaction. What is the meaning of agglutination reaction? If the particular antigen is mixed with particular antibody in the desirable condition, what is the desirable condition? Presence of electrolyte, the suitable temperature and pH. So there the antigen will be clumped or mixed or agglutinated with the antibody, and it will be forming the clump, and this reaction is called as the agglutination reaction, and the antibody of the serum will be called as the agglutinin. Then examples, different kinds of examples are present in the agglutination reaction like slide agglutination, tube agglutination, hemagglutination, passive agglutination and agglutination inhibition. Now let us see. The first one is the slide agglutination. It is basically one qualitative test. What is the meaning of qualitative test? Qualitative means the result will show you only that it is positive or negative. It will not give any kind of quantification. So this test is called as the qualitative test, and basically this test is used in the serological laboratory or blood bank. So how it can be done? There will be treated red blood cells or colored latex bead coated with antigen, and it will clump with the presence of antibody to the antigen. So if the antibody will be clumping with the antigen, then only we will get the positive result. In the tube agglutination test, the principle will be same, only instead of the slide, we can do the test in the tube. Then it will be called as the tube agglutination test. If the antibody will be clumping with the antigen, then we will get the result positive. Mainly this is used in case of Widal test, WIDAL, Widal test, just to find out the patient is suffering from typhoid or not. Here in this example we can see the titer is 1/40, and there only we can get the positive result and agglutination. Third one is the hemagglutination test. In hemagglutination test, two conditions are given here. In the first condition, you can see hemagglutinating virus that will be mixed with the RBC. So the RBC will be joined with the virus, and the hemagglutination will be formed. And you can see in the microtiter well, you can observe the hemagglutination formation. But in the second case, what is happening? Hemagglutinating virus is given in the antibody to the viruses. It is mixed with the antibody. So when the antibody will be joined with the antigen, automatically it will form the antigen antibody complex. So at that time, if the antigen antibody complex will be poured in the red blood cell, there will not be any kind of hemagglutination. There will be no hemagglutination. Why? Because the virus are already, it is conjugated or it is agglutinating with the antibody. So it will not agglutinate with the RBCs. So in the microtiter well, you can see the appearance will be like that, when there will not be any kind of no agglutination, and on the upper part you can see the appearance of the hemagglutination. Now passive agglutination. What is the meaning of passive agglutination? An agglutination reaction that employs particles that are coated with antigens not normally found on the cell surface. What will be happening here? The drug coats the latex particle and it will be mixed with the antibody. So antigen antibody complex will be formed. But if the drug coated latex particle will be joined with the antibody and then the drug will be added there, then what will happen? In the second part you can see the drug will be joined with the antibody part. So the drug coated latex particle will be free and there will not be any kind of agglutination. But in the first case, there is no drug. So that's why the antibody will be joined with the drug coated latex particle, because they have the free site. There is the free site of antibody to join with the drug coated latex particle in the first picture. But in the second picture, in the antibody, there is no free site of the antibody to bind with the drug coated latex particle, as these free sites are already occupied by the drug in the second picture. Then in the third part, in the fourth one, you can see the agglutination inhibition. Basically, when any lady is going for the pregnancy test, home pregnancy test kit, there if the HCG hormone will be present in the urine sample, then the test kit is showing the positive result. And if the HCG hormone is absent, so there will not be any kind of positive result. So how it can be possible? It is possible because of agglutination inhibition. Let us see. The first one, latex particle coated with HCG, it will be mixed with the anti-HCG antibodies. It is already given. Okay. Latex particle coated with HCG plus anti-HCG antibodies. It is given in the kit. Then the person has to join the urine sample. So when the urine sample will be joined in the kit, what will happen? In the first step, you can see if the HCG is present there. If the HCG is present there, so the HCG will be joined with the anti-HCG's antibodies. The HCG will be joined with the anti-HCG antibodies. So the latex particle coated HCG will be free. No agglutination will be there, and it will show the positive result by showing the double line. And in case of the negative result, what will happen? In second case, if the HCG is not present there, so anti-HCG and HCG binding will not be there in the second case. So automatically what will happen? These anti-HCG antibodies will not get any HCG in the urine. So they will go and they will bind with the latex particle coated with HCG. So it will give the positive result, it will give the negative result, it will give the only one coloration. Only one color it will be showing in the kit, but in case of positive case, it will show you two color. Okay, just because of the latex particle coated with HCG. Now, this complement fixation we will discuss on the next class, and today we are doing up to this part only. Thank you very much.